I think it's harder for Black women because a lot of Black women want to marry a Black man, outpacing them as far as education. Many Black men are simply incarcerated.
Degree is not enough. It's all about who you know.
I realize the number one thing CEOs and hiring managers look for is not a fancy title or a degree, it's experience.
The job market loves experience.
Just jobless, applying to so many jobs. No one wants to hire me.
When I was getting my master's, there have been quite a few men that have been intimidated by me because I have those, those extra 2 degrees or
No! 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 This cannot happen. God stop our land! God stop our land!
Men are the problem.
Do you think Black women with degrees and professional careers are expected to settle more than their non-Black counterparts?
I think it's harder for Black women because a lot of Black women want to marry a Black man. And then you have to deal with the fact that we're outpacing them as far as education. You add in the factor of how many Black men want to date outside their race. You add in the factor of how many Black men are simply incarcerated.
If you really have a good argument, you should not have to shame somebody. Shaming is just a way to get control of the conversation.
The children play a factor too, the ones that have children.
Yeah. And then you can't even add in.
You heard what she said, right? That lie, incarcerated. Do you know how many Black men are not incarcerated that you don't want to date? Oh, probably because you're making a lot of money, right? I don't know if you made it. You have a podcast. You probably made it with your podcast. But a lot of you ladies with the degrees are not making it happen. Seriously. Like, I show what I've done. I have experience. That's what I show guys in my work at home program, right? I show guys how to gain experience. And I show how people were banging at my door, and people still are. People are still looking to hire me. That's not happening when you got your degree. They don't look at people with degrees nowadays. They pass them right on by. But let me continue.
Superficial factors of like wanting somebody who's handsome and over 6 feet.
Right.
It's like, well, if that's what you want, the expectation is you're going to have to give somewhere. But I think that's what's hard dating as a Black woman is finding your equal in a Black man in all areas. It's the Hunger Games.
Now, the sad part is she said finding your equal. She thinks her equal is a 6-foot Black man, and she's probably 5'2". That's not your equal, right? A 6-foot Black man making hundreds of thousands. And it's wild because you ladies see men, oh, you don't watch us, but men break it down all the time. The percentages of the man that's 6 foot alone. Then the percentages of men that make that kind of money. It's like almost non-existent. You got to find a guy on his grind. And not a lot of guys are on their grind. And then you get with the guy and then try to force him to be on his grind. At least try that, right? At least do that. But most women aren't taking that route. And that's why they're alone.
Rise of like, I'm just going to go and not get a degree and marry a man and have him take care of me content, which is that's your life. You do what you want. I'm going to give some advice. If that is your ultimate goal, I'm going to give you some advice. Take it or leave it. If you want to find a wealthy man who has good morals, who will take care of his wife, who will have a good job in the future, the place you're going to meet him is at school. The place you're going to meet him is at school. And I'm not really talking about college level schools like undergrads. I'm talking about graduate level schools, medical schools, law school. So getting your degree puts you at a better chance of finding a husband that is going to have a good job than anything. I don't even want to tell you how many people are dating in my class.
I got to pause that, right? Why is that? Because the Godfather himself talked about it all the time. And you women seem to not understand it. Sexual market value comes into play. And these men in these graduate schools that have the opportunity to make tons of money when they get out, most likely don't want, and you're giving women this advice. Like, if it's not the baddie black woman, and a lot of guys still may not want that, no chance. Like, seriously, you got to have the degree and be a baddie. But then, still, that's not going to mean anything. That doesn't mean employment. That doesn't mean anybody's going to hire you. The job market is cold. That's what I teach guys. Well, I don't have to teach you. Everybody knows that. But it's crazy because every girl just, they get to, oh, I need a man on my level.
Class. So many people are dating my class and the class above me. We literally had our first couple months here in med school. We had a law school med school mixer so that we could meet people in the law school that's attached to our med school. Like, there's next to us an MBA program. We have like a bunch of, we have PA schools. We have CRNA schools. Like, if you are looking for a husband that will have a good job, the best place to meet him is at school. And if you get your degree on the way, can't ever hurt, because then you have a job to fall back on just in case, which is what I've been saying since the get-go. But I think that if you want to better your chances to have a doctor husband, a lawyer husband, a business husband, go get your degrees. Go get your upper level degrees. Get an MBA, right? Get your JD. Get your MD. Get your master's in education. Get your PhD in psychology. Like, literally, go to these places and intermingle at these events, because that is where you're finding these like, if you talk to most women who are married to, not the girls online, most women in the real world who have husbands who've retired them, bought them a house, buy them cars, do all this other stuff, majority of the women meet their husbands in school. Because once they're in school, especially after, and why I say after college is because in college, a lot of guys are like, they want to be free. They want to, you know, I heard the guy say, I don't want to bring sand to the beach or whatever that means. Like, they want to date around, right? But when they get upper level, it's too hard to date around because you have so much stress and you're doing so much work and you're doing so much schooling. So it's like, it's less successful for you to be able to date around. So going to meet guys in upper level education is literally where you're going to find the best guys with the most prospects, and you can get your degree too. It's a win-win.
So somebody was trying to match me up with their son, and this is like a group of my mom's friends meeting another woman for the first time and talking about her son and whatnot. One of the things the women said was, oh, actually it'll be great for him because, you know, she's going to be a doctor. And it kind of weirded me out, and I don't know why. Not like it's a bad thing, but it's more of like, I never thought of like, almost like the roles are reversed. Usually like women will say, oh yeah, my daughter is he's a doctor. Like, you know, her boyfriend is a doctor or something, like her husband is a doctor. It kind of made me feel like, yeah, you know, I could be proud of it and there's nothing wrong with it, but it also made me like a little bit scared at the same time. It's different for a woman because a man is in that position of he is there to provide. Like, that's the biggest thing for a man. Like, a man really doesn't actually fall in love with you unless he's providing for you scientifically. Like, he doesn't, you know, if he's not problem solving for you, it just ain't gonna work. That's why a lot of times I believe off of that's why they feel emasculated. But anyway, when they're in the presence of a woman that's like, just, she can do any and everything for herself and she doesn't need him. Like, a man may say that he wants to be taken care of, and there's nothing wrong with cherishing a man, but like, naturally, he's not going to be in love with that woman that handles everything for him. Duh. That's what it gave me the fear of. Like, and I want to be with a man that is just as great as me. And I don't have anything against being with a man who doesn't have as many degrees as me. I don't care, as long as he's nerdy.
You're doomed to die alone. You want to be with a man that's just as good as you. And I bet there's extras. I'm telling you, with all of them, that's just as good as me and 6 feet tall. Like, throw it all in the garbage. Right? She's a doctor. She should know that most of the population doesn't fall under that category of 6 feet, but she's also delusional, if you know what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? And he's successful in whatever he is achieving, and he's just a great, respectable guy. I'm cool with that. But it kind of made my chest like curl up a little bit, because I think it's just because ever since I've been in this and when I was getting my master's, there have been quite a few men that have been intimidated by me because I have those, those extra 2 degrees, or, about to have an extra 2 degrees on top of that outside of the bachelor. I'm just thinking about life because I went to a concert that was in the cemetery, and it wasn't as like morbid as I thought it would be or anything like that. It just opened my eyes. Like, I'm living. And the music was beautiful. It was calming. It was uplifting, but it also just gave me an epiphany more about life and stuff like that. So I think that's just where I'm at.
And another conversation we need to have is how the rules keep changing to suit the people who are in power. Like in our parents' time, having a degree was enough to get you out the hood. You could get a good job, amass wealth, take your kids to private school. You could live soft with a degree.
Those days are over.
But tell me, when it's our time, all of a sudden, hey, a degree is not enough. It's all about who you know, the skills that you have, the experience. Hey, the rules keep changing. The goalpost keeps being shifted. We are getting degrees, and degrees are no longer the answer. They are no longer the key to success. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's not. It truly isn't, right? But it's been that way for the longest time. I've known it was that way for the longest time. Even 20 years ago, it was that way. I tell guys, when guys book my program, people went to college, they got out, came and worked the same job as me. I'm not trying to say they couldn't have got ahead, but they probably got degrees in the wrong thing or something else, or gender studies. That's just something I didn't want to do. I was an experienced kind of guy all the time on social media. I got my degree, but these girls aren't told. They don't know. A lot of girls don't know. A girl reached out to me and said, I want to book a consultation with you. And she thought I only help men. I'm like, no, I'll definitely help her. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a white person, a green person, an alien. I help anyone. Because I feel what I know, more people need to know it. More people definitely need to know what I know. Because it's really about experience. And this lady talks about it right here.
Is worth more than your $400,000 college education. After reviewing over 100,000 candidates and placing them for clients in the United States through my staffing firm, I realized the #1 thing CEOs and hiring managers look for is not a fancy title or a degree, it's experience. If I had $1 for every time a client picked experience over a master's, I'd be too busy updating my passport, not resumes. Here's a perfect example. You have 2 candidates, one who just finished their master's in marketing, and the other has spent 5 years managing marketing campaigns. Who gets hired? Every single time, it's the one with experience. So if you're job hunting right now, make sure your resume highlights the experience that fits the role. Remember, experience is always greater than education every single time. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and as always, happy selling.
Yeah, guy, it blows my mind because I show guys all the time, right? How the job market is trash right now, and people are looking to hire me. It's all because of experience. And what did she say? Happy selling. That's what I do. But I don't do it no more, but still. And that's what I show guys, how to get the experience.
Just being really transparent with you. So you graduated in 2021 and you haven't landed a job, and it's 2024. So I'm going to ask you, what did you do in between 2021 and 2024? Because that's a lot of time. I always suggest people intern, volunteer, or freelance. And I know it doesn't look pretty, but something that they don't tell us in college is...
She said it. She said intern, volunteer, or freelance. That's what I've been doing for the past 10 years. That's how you move overseas. But let it continue. I'll let it continue.
The job market loves experience no matter what. They tell you they would sell the dream that go to school, you'll get a job. That is not the reality.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Real talk alert.
It's a who you know and where did you work kind of thing. So for you, I would say try to freelance, to make some money if you really need some money. And I don't know what you're doing right now in the meantime or anything like that. Intern, right? Intern, even if you have to take unpaid internships, just get the experience you need.
But guys, she said freelance like it's not a big deal. Seriously, freelancing is a big deal. That's how I've made my money. Also, besides YouTube, for the past 15 years, right? It was back in 2012. I quit Cablevision. I quit working outside. And then by 2013, I was freelancing. By little after that, I was making moves and doing other things. But that's how I got here.
Job. Like, I literally have a whole bachelor's degree that I graduated with, and I still can't find one. And it's kind of aggravating because it's like, what did I do the last 4 years?
And here I am, just jobless, applying to so many jobs. No one wants to hire me.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care. And like, it's hard because some people I know are in medical school. They're getting their master's. They're getting their starting their PhD programs. They're out here working. They're corporate girlies. I'm literally jobless. I am jobless as the day I was born. I don't know where I'm gonna be, and it's just really frustrating because I'm like, I could have just planned just a little bit better. Just like a little bit better. So to all the procrastinators out there, if you're starting senior year, do not be like me, please. This is a cautionary tale. Start looking for jobs. Start looking for master's programs. Start looking for PhDs, because you don't want to be here, start of school year, people are going to start things, and you have nothing to go to. You're just jobless. You're just floating around. It sucks, and I don't want this for you.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. She did just say start your PhD, right? So you can get work. You're going to spend more money on more school. Are you thinking, lady? We just saw a lady that works with a big time company who just explained they're looking for experience. And you said get a PhD? You're going to waste more money and still not get hired. And look what she's doing. This is very sad. She's making TikToks. She has people following her, I'm sure, for advice. Probably some young girl that wants to go to college is taking advice from her. And a bunch of them are giving different advice saying, oh, you get out of school, do something, do this, do that, do that. It's not good advice. Look, I'll tell you what's happened. I saw one video where a girl said school is a scam. I said, man, she's right. I've been seeing over the years, people saying school is a scam. They're right. I've been saying it for so long. School is a scam. I know I'm right because I saw it firsthand. I see it happening day by day. And I see the job market in shambles for Americans. And I see Filipinos taking American jobs. Like the reason why people can't get hired for a lot of things, they're outsourcing the work. So to outsource, they may use someone that works at home for a less fee. But if you're getting less working at home, right? It's the same because you're not spending money on gas. You're not fixing your car. You're winning. You're sitting home, eating the meals you bought for your groceries. So you're not blowing money. You're saving so much money. So if you're used to making 20 an hour, right? And make 18, or if you're used to making 30, you can make 25 because you're not spending the extra money. So you're actually winning. It's more like 32 when you think about it. And let alone you getting an S Corp and working that out the right way. And then when you're living overseas, woo, it's so sweet. But they don't teach us this. Anyway, let me hop on to the next video.
Yes, I'm 30 years old with standards. It's the end of the world. I'm going to die alone. I'm so happy that I got my master's degree instead of wasting my time dating. Trust me, if I dated, my hair would have fell out my head, okay? Dating causes stress. Stress causes hair loss. So I'm so happy that I am 30 with a master's degree and not a man dragging me down.
Sad. This is sad. I'll tell you why. Right? These ladies are getting their degrees. No man. And what's happening right now? The big boycott, right? This is why by 2030, it's going to happen. You guys see it all the time on social media nowadays. Look how she's talking. Stay away from me. That's what she's pretty much saying. All men, stay away from me. She's trying to give us "Bish, be gone," right? When that's what guys are saying to her, "Be gone." Who wants a woman that talks like that, basing herself up? What is she doing? She's being a man. She looking like a man. Guys want no part of that.
And I'll say it again, but more companies need to take a chance on people to get them in certain positions, even if that person does not have that certain type of industry experience.
Desperate.
But has good experience with the position itself. Reason being is because, to me personally, in my personal opinion, a job, field, and industry can be taught. I feel as though it is easier to teach somebody about the industry itself and how to maneuver, getting to know that industry and become familiar with it, versus trying to get somebody to learn a position in general. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form saying that companies should not hire people for positions that they've never been in before. Absolutely not. But I think that companies should be more lenient on putting people into positions that they've already been in, even if they don't know the industry. I once landed a contract position.
So I'm gonna actually let me listen to what you said. I want to hear what you said. What you're gonna say?
For a healthcare company, more specifically a cancer division within the company. It was in their oncology department. I have no background in healthcare, anything of that nature. My background is in communications, but I did project management for years prior to being at this company. So they liked the fact that I had a ton of project management experience. They were looking for a project manager, but they were okay with the fact that I did not have that specific industry experience. And it was so easy to get on board and get going with things, because even though you do have to learn a lot about the industry in general, there's a lot of things that are automated. There is different brand guidelines and things like that that you need to follow, where you're basically going to be guided into knowing how to operate in these.
So you said they need to give people a chance. I'm confused. I'm going to let you finish, but like, are you saying because you got a chance? Or are you saying because I'm confused? Let me let you finish.
Industries. Fast forward to now, I am now in the biotechnology space as a product manager. However, I have 7 years prior experience as a project manager, which has helped me to land the role that I am in now. And I, in no way, shape, or form, have been in a biotech background, a science background, chemistry, pharmaceuticals, nothing of that nature. I am mainly digital marketing with a couple other odds and ends along my career journey. But it's you can learn it, you get it. Repetition takes all for me. If you keep doing something, you keep experiencing it, you're eventually going to get it. And yeah, you might not understand fully. It may take some years, but you're eventually going to get it enough to be able to do your job to the best of your ability. And especially if you have already had experience in that career position.
What? You just confused the mess out of me. I'll tell you what. You just said you have experience. You're a manager. And you just said they should try to give people experience. And I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you the answer. The answer is no. They're not doing that. If that was the case, so many people coming out of college, not all, I'm not saying all, but more coming out of college would be given a chance. But they're not, because they're looking for the person with experience. They don't want someone trying to figure it out on the job. I understand and get it. Like if I'm hiring a person to work for me, right? Say like before, I used to hire people to do sales for me, which I'm going to do it again. Hire some Filipinos to make sales, get jobs, give them the contracts, make the money on the splits in between. Say if I'm doing that, you think I'm going to get someone that doesn't have experience? I want the person with experience. Just like another company in the West wants the person with experience. That's why all of you ladies say, oh, I got my degree. These young girls I see doing it all the time. Video after video. Yelling to the mountaintops. I got my degree, never dated a man, but I got my doctorate degree. And it's equating to no money. I think you ladies need to figure out how to get it on the ground running. Seriously, take the degree you got. If it's in marketing, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is you do, figure out a way to get it out the mud. Because that's what you got to do nowadays. You got to get it out the mud. If you can't use that degree, you got to use it somehow. Maybe give some direction, or I don't know. Maybe teach some classes on something. Help people with test prep, something. Do something. Seriously. That's what it's come down to. Break your back. That's what the people want. That's why they want experience. They want someone that's going to break their back. And what do people say all the time? You see it on tons of videos like Motiversity and things like that. You know, as I said, motivating, right? They're looking for motivated people that are willing to do what it takes. And you will be too. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.